Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy JTL, opposite from the norm. Before I get started, make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Alright, so I want to say this because I've been noticing this for the last couple of days. And some people may take offense to this, but I just want y'all to really think about something. I just want to put something in the atmosphere for y'all to think about, maybe even have a conversation about. I don't I pray for everybody that we don't, especially as YouTubers and black people or black men, we don't get lost in being in love with being cynical. Because I see a lot of people acting like they wanted Trump to win. And I think, no offense, the excuse is so you could say, I told you so. And to keep it real with you, that's not necessarily a good thing. Now, I'm not saying that Biden and Harris is not going to be something we have to watch out for, because if you look at all Democrats that won, in the last 30-something years, right? I'm 36, so in the last 30-something years, right? When I was born and going into the 90s, Reagan was going out of office. Then came George Bush Sr. So my first, I want to say, my first 7 or 8 years on this earth was under Republicans. I believe 7 or 8 years, something in between that, because Reagan left in, I think, 89, and that's when Bush Senior came in, 89, 90. That's when Bush came in. And then next thing you know, Bill Clinton came in. So it was like around 7, 8 years, something like that. And we seen what a lot of Democrats have done wrong. You know what I mean? But the thing is, if you notice, every time we had Republicans, and y'all can go do your own history, do your own research. Every time we had Republicans in, unless you had money, or your family had money if you was a child, you couldn't survive under a Republican regime. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, some people may not agree with this, but I want you to do your research. Every time a Republican gets in, it helps the people who have money on businesses that are successful. It doesn't help the regular, everyday, common person. So what I mean by that, as far as falling in love with being cynical, is like, you just want to say, I told you so, but what do you really have to offer the everyday common folk? Like, we're not in that position. And even if you had a couple $100 million, you still probably most likely not in that position to help the everyday common man. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes a lot. And we don't realize, because we're not in that seat or that position, what it takes. So that's why you have an Ice Cube saying what we need as in the black community, access to more resources and things of that nature. But to be honest with you, a lot of people that do try to put money into the community, especially the black community and things that we're up against, it's going to take more than a couple $100 million. Like, we're talking about trillions of dollars to help the black community. Because the sad thing is, well, also on top of that is the mindset, the change in the mindset. So I get what my peoples who are cynical are saying, but the problem is we're so worried about being able to say, I told you so, more so than solutions. You know what I'm saying? And in order for us to really have some solutions, it's not going to take being cynical. Most likely being cynical is just being able to say, I told you so, looking at the darkness of things. It doesn't change anything. You might be feeling good for that point, but let's keep it real. If 45 would have stayed in office longer, God forbid, it would have been more dark days. Possibly. And I'm not saying, Biden and Harris is going to change it to where we're going to be good with certain things, but you have to look at the climate of everything. Just because you was mentally okay with what's going on with the pandemic and finances, especially if you black, doesn't mean everybody else was. A lot of other people could not survive, keep going down, because I remember, and I said this before on previous show a while back, my cousin put me on the game. Democrats clean up what Republicans mess up, and Republicans are supposed to keep going what Democrats set in place. But if you look at it, every time a Republican get in place, it's been worse. All the last recent wars that's been started, all the way up until a little bit before my birth, has been under Republicans. This is what we got to realize. The crack epidemic came in under a Republican. Now, a Democrat may have, done the prison thing and all of that, the crime bill. But if it wasn't for a Republican, to be honest with you, if you look at history, we wouldn't have had to deal with that. So you had a lot of black people that actually was behind the Clinton administration doing the crime bill because they didn't know no better. And Bill Clinton said something before, like he thought that's what was needed to help the black community. And sadly enough, it wasn't. But at the same time, let's keep it G. If we say we're gonna keep it real, let's keep it real. The unfortunate thing is the breakdown of black men being the head of black families and households and communities. We fell for the banana in the tailpipe. You know what I'm saying? Because we should have been trying to work our way on getting out the game. So we set ourselves up for failure for the 94 crime bill to work. Because if you look at what's going on now, keep it even more realer, why are we still trying to be in the streets? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's something we really have to talk about and analyze. Why are niggas still in the streets? Why are we still okay with, even though we know what's going to happen, especially nowadays in times, and what they're doing to our people since 94, 93, why the hell are we still in the streets? Why are we not building to get out of the streets? And I see a lot of brothers and sisters, and I love them, God bless them for it, trying our best, but it's going to take a little more than just trying to sound professional and white. We're going to have to really address what's going on in our communities. And I feel like right now, God willing, I pray to keep faith in it, that right now is the time, since Orange Face 45 is not in the office no more and Republicans are not running the White House no more. Now is the time to get ready for the next time a Republican comes in, because it's going to happen again sooner or later. I guarantee you. It's going to happen again. So we have to be smart about how we move now. And I'm not saying Democrats are saving us, but what I am saying, since they're in the House, is too bad, more people, especially independent parties, didn't win more seats in Senate and the House. But what I'm saying is this is the time for us to get ready, do our research, and be more active. You know what I'm saying? For all the people that may disagree with me, that's fine. But if you look at factual data, you will see that right now is the time for us to try to do better. We don't have to keep doing Democrat, but right now is the time to move from it. Because at the time, as Republicans being in office, it's hard to do it. You know what I'm saying? So I just want us to really think about these things, that right now, God willing, we can do better and try to move away from being Democrats or Republicans. You got the Green Party, you got Libertarian, or we can make our own party, which is what me and my partner HD always talk about. But let's not be in love with being cynical to just sit back and keep saying, I told you so, or this gonna happen, don't trust this, don't trust that. Let's do something. Let's stop sitting around pointing fingers and being happy about nothing happening, God forbid. Like, that's stupid. It's time to make a change. Let's go ahead and work on doing something different. All the people, this is what people don't think about. Everything that we saying now, people have been saying. It's just the internet, we have a lot better reach. But back then, they were saying the same thing in newspapers, magazines, TV, radio, and word of mouth. It was always the same things. If we're just doing that, it's nothing different except for our reach and our platforms. That's the only thing different. Like I was telling my brother John Horst from, Straight to a Podcast. We have a different platform now, but we think different. But we have to move different as we think different. It can't just be, oh, well, no, this ain't gonna happen. This ain't that. This messed up, this blah. We've been doing that. Now, since we got history, we got Google, books and everything, we got all the history and what we need on what happened in the past. We can learn from that and do something different now. So let's work on doing something different now. Like my brother low-key called me the solution. I'm just trying to throw some out there. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate that term of endearment. I'm not necessarily a solution, but I am about figuring them out. Like my mentor, Herbert Murphy, shout out to the brother, God bless him. Peace and love to the king. You know what I'm saying? Let's figure out what's the problem and how we can do something different. It's a different day and age. Let's do something different so we can go ahead and get some different results. Forget wishing that Trump won so people can, you know what I'm saying, keep being in fire seats. Forget, black people still going with Democrats. Let's say, all right, now we got 4 years, God willing, until the next election. What can we be doing now to change that? Let's start changing the way we talk on these platforms. Let's start changing what we do in our everyday lives so we can actually make these changes come true. This your boy JT at Opposite from the North. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. You know what it is. Coming up, we're going to have sports talk, the sports wrap-up for the week, at least by Tuesday, Lord's willing. My boy HD, we already recorded our Financial Fridays. That's my fault. I missed it, so I got to put that up along with what he going to be putting up coming this Friday, too, God willing. And you already know on Wednesdays, Lord's willing, on this coming Wednesday, God willing, I'm going to have Poly Talk. So y'all get ready for that. Like, share, comment, and subscribe. This your boy JTL, Opposite from the North. Chip!